Massive US and Israeli bombardments are sweeping across Iran. With a death toll quickly surpassing 1,000 people, explosions are lighting up the night sky over Tehran. The trigger for this escalation was a targeted strike aimed at the very top. The US and Israel assassinated Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Despite the mounting civilian casualties, the US administration describes the operation as a controlled success. President Donald Trump told reporters that on a scale of 1 to 10, he would rate the military victory at a 15. But political scientist Vali Nas argues that the goal of a clean, surgical decapitation ignores the decentralized nature of Iran's power. He warns that this strategy has triggered a chain reaction that US forces will find difficult to monitor or contain. Striking the head of a military superpower failed to force a submission. Instead, it created a chaotic power vacuum, currently redrawing the map of the Middle East. Before analyzing the regional fallout, we have to look inside Iran itself, starting with Tehran. This map of Iran shows the country's digital infrastructure going completely dark. Monitors report an internet blackout exceeding 120 hours, a measure used by the state to suppress information about massive anti-war demonstrations erupting across multiple cities. With the supreme leader gone, the succession line is fractured. The leadership void is so significant that former President Hassan Rouhani's name is surfacing as a potential figure to fill the gap. The Iranian state is currently operating in a blind spot. Without clear lines of communication or a central command, the country's military apparatus is acting without a unified directive. This map shows how military networks behave when their central command collapses. As we pan west from Iran to the borders of Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon, we see various factions beginning to move independently. Proxy forces are activating across the region. In Lebanon, the leader of Hezbollah has already pledged to continue a relentless military campaign against Israel. Simultaneously, remnants of Iran's military are lashing out across their borders, launching a fresh wave of attacks targeting Kurdish separatist groups in neighboring Iraq. Contrast those active war zones with the few borders that are still maintaining normal operations, such as the Gerbalak crossing into Turkey. Destroying the central command effectively triggered multiple autonomous proxy wars that operate without a single point of surrender. This map of the Persian Gulf and the Caucasus shows military hardware spilling into neutral and allied territories. The fallout is reaching deep into the region. Unexplained explosions strike Qatar, and stray drones from Iran are crashing into Azerbaijani territory. This is causing severe infrastructural damage. Falling drone debris recently ignited a massive fire at an oil depot in Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, which is still raging. The damage extends far beyond the borders of the primary combatants. The region's airspace and energy infrastructure are now active collateral damage in a conflict that has lost its geographic boundaries. While the physical battlefield expands, the political systems designed to stop this escalation are failing. In Washington, the U.S. Senate just failed to advance a war powers resolution. A war powers resolution is a measure designed to limit the president's ability to wage war without legislative approval. Defeating it gives the executive branch a blank check to continue the bombardment. Internationally, the U.S. is facing diplomatic isolation. NATO allies like Spain are openly denying White House claims that they agreed to cooperate with the military effort. Traditional global counterweights are also staying out of the conflict. Beijing and Moscow have condemned the violence, but they are keeping their distance and refusing to offer any military support to Iran. With Congress gridlocked and global superpowers withdrawing, the diplomatic safety net has disappeared. There is no political mechanism left to halt the escalation. This wide-angle map shows the density of the current conflict zones. Pulling these geographic threads together reveals a fully fractured Middle East. The initial decapitation strategy has backfired. Removing the central leadership led directly to a violent and unpredictable decentralization of the war. This war now sustains its own momentum. With Iran's leadership void, Washington's political paralysis, and the international community stepping back, the violence has transitioned into a self-perpetuating cycle that no one is currently steering.
Qatar.